The next person coming up, you may have seen before if you have been on any of the Joko Cruise crazies. He's a good friend of mine. We actually spent some time this summer, this most recent summer, making a Christmas album together. That was a great deal of fun. It was I'm such an admirer of his songwriting ability that it was a real treat, and also kind of terrifying to write songs with him. But very proud of what we did. He is not going to play any of those songs because all of his songs that he did by himself are much better. Will you please welcome to the stage Mr. John Roderick.
Let's get off to a good start, you and I, audience. I'm not a nerd. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm going to spend most of tonight's show berating you, and then the rest of it I will be tuning my guitar. I will play exactly 1.5 minutes of music. That's right, I'm going to just do the classics, that 1.5 minutes of my music that is good. I'm happy to be here. What the? It's tough to have standards. I'm sure Paul and Storm can work like this. They just put a panty on their head. That's right. Burn. All right, I don't know if you are aware, but I have a podcast now, in addition to being an internationally famous rock musician. And so I figured for the cruise this year, I would also, before I played a song, I would favor you with a story, much like the kinds of stories that I tell on my podcast. On my podcast, I have a co-host and an interlocutor who has attention deficit disorder and self-medicates with Ritalin that he buys on the internet. That's right. Since he's not here, you're going to have to just suffer my long, boring storytelling without any interruptions or clarifications or Wikipedia searches, although you can search on your own while I speak. I'm going to tell you the story of the time I stole my dad's airplane. True story. I grew up flying airplanes. I grew up in Alaska. My dad was a pilot. And flying airplanes was a thing that we did together, like a father-son activity, because we didn't play sports or hunt or do the other things that Alaskan men do to bond. My dad's toolbox was a paper bag that had like 3 screwdrivers in it, and he would pull that out whenever something broke, and we would both look at the 3 screwdrivers and then throw the thing away. But we did fly, we flew airplanes together, and so when I got to be a teenager, it was assumed that I would become a private pilot, because that is both our father-son activity and also a rite of passage in Alaska. You become a pilot at a certain point, because otherwise you can't go anywhere in Alaska. There are no roads, there's no other way to visit places. And Alaskans are, most of them are gasoline people. If you can put gasoline in it and drive it over things and kill things with it, Alaskans will buy it and love it. And we didn't have any of those things. We weren't snowmobile people, we weren't jet ski people, we just had this airplane. It was our one little gizmo. So after I graduated from high school, I started taking flight lessons. And I had a cranky old pilot who we would fly out to an abandoned airstrip, and we would just fly around. And he would, talk to me in the headphones and tell me what I was doing, and I was so bored with this up and, touch and go style of learning to fly, because I wanted, my primary interest in flying an airplane was to fly 50 feet above the trees and going. That's basically the way I communicate. One finger or two fingers. So I went through the rigmarole. I wasn't a very good student, but I did get to the point that I soloed the airplane and had my first flight where I was all by myself, and it seemed we'd been flying in and out of this abandoned airstrip for weeks, so I felt very comfortable here. And I successfully soloed. I was a proper student aviator now. There's a whole tradition where they rip the back of your shirt and write the day that you solo for the first time and pin it on the wall of the hangar. And we didn't really do any of that. The guy was too crotchety. But I felt very confident because I'd grown up in airplanes, and now I had soloed and flown a plane by myself. I felt pretty much that I was a pilot. I was going to be a great pilot, I knew, and it was just a matter of the few details of flying for many years before I became a great pilot, but I felt like I was on the way. And so about a week later, I was sitting at home, and I really wanted to show off this new skill, my flying skill, but I knew that my dad wasn't going to let me go fly by myself around the town. So one afternoon I made sure that he was otherwise occupied in his room reading spy novels as he did, and I went downstairs and took the key to the airplane off of the refrigerator. And then, because I was a teenager, I called a good friend of mine, my friend Peter, and I said, meet me at the airport. I got my pilot's license. Let's go for a flight. And he was like, you got your pilot's license? That's incredible. Yeah, I mostly got my pilot's license. So we met at the airport, and I'd been through this process a million times. I knew exactly how to look like a pilot and sound like a pilot. So we unhooked the straps and did a pre-flight check of the airplane, and I was very officious about all my little, yes, that's right. Really convincing my friend Peter that I was on top of my game. And we got in the airplane and started up the propeller, and I got on the radio to the tower, and I deepened my voice. I said, Merrill Tower, this is Cessna 634 Mike Alpha, ready for takeoff, runway 2. Sounding as much like an Alaskan as I could muster at the time, because my voice was an octave higher then. And I seemed to be pulling it off. The tower responded to me like they do to Alaskan pilots. They gave me my clearance to take off. And we taxied out onto the runway, and brimming over with confidence and youthful sort of masculinity, I slammed the throttle forward, and the plane starts off down the runway. And Peter is also, he's a cool kid, I'm a cool kid, we're going for a flight. We're 18 years old, and of course, as you know, when you're 18, you feel like you have seen it all, and you are a full-grown adult. And this seemed like the most natural thing in the world. Well, we start cooking down the runway, and I don't want to insult your intelligence by telling you how to fly a plane. But when a plane is on the ground, you control it with the foot pedals, which move the rudder on the tail. When the plane is in the air, you can steer it with the steering wheel or with the stick, but on the ground, you control it like this, with your feet. And when the propeller starts spinning really fast, it creates a kind of torque that actually pulls the plane a little bit to the left. And you correct that with a little bit of right rudder, a little opposite foot to the direction you're traveling. When we start heading down the runway, and on this day there's a little bit of a crosswind, and so the plane starts to move to the left along the runway. We're picking up speed, and I'm noticing that we're no longer on the center line. We're sort of inching over, and the plane is really starting to cook along the runway, and I'm giving it a little bit of right rudder, but it's not really having an effect. And I'm kind of, I'm trying to be gentle with it because I want to show that I have finesse. The plane is not responding, and it keeps moving over until we're fully over on the left side of the runway, which isn't how it's done. And so I start to think about all my flight lessons, which really doesn't represent a lot of time, let's be honest. And I start to second guess what I'm doing. Maybe it's not that you give opposite rudder. Maybe it's that you give rudder on the side of the direction you're moving. At that point, maybe it's that there's a button that you push. I didn't know what I was doing at all. And so as the plane starts to get over to the left side of the runway, I now, in a little bit of a panic because we're going 80 miles an hour, I stop pushing on the right rudder and I slam my foot down on the left rudder. And the plane goes, and now we are in the grass. And going fast. And so I immediately recognize my mistake and slam my foot down on the right rudder, at which point the airplane goes up onto 2 wheels. And this wing is cutting through the grass, and this wing is pointing at the stars. And I think to myself in that brief moment, I'm going to be the kid who stole his dad's airplane and rolled it on the ground. And I say, I will not go down like this. I will not crash my dad's airplane on the ground. I will, if anything, crash it from the sky. And I pull back on the stick, and the airplane goes, and we are in the air, going sideways across the runway. But we are in the air. And let me tell you, once an airplane is in the air, it's quite easy to fly. All you have to do is keep the motor running. Well, we cleared the trees and the power lines at the end of the runway, and then we were aloft, And I looked over at my friend Peter, who had been in a great many airplanes. And he knew that wasn't how you do it. But he betrayed no outward emotion, because he was a cool kid, and so was I. And so, although I was, at this point, drenched in sweat, I shook it off, and we started flying around our town. And I couldn't resist a little like, there's your house. There's my house. But Peter wasn't responding. He was just looking out the window, kind of ashen. And in actual fact, now I had only one thing I needed to do, which was land the airplane. But I had completely lost all of the Dutch courage that I had used to get us into the air. And so we spun the plane around, and we could see the runway. It was calling to us. Peter knew that we were in trouble. And I really knew we were in trouble. And I lined up on the strip. And again, this part of flying is not that hard. You just point at the center line, and you gradually take the power away, and the plane will go down. And I was handling that part pretty carefully. But I had in my mind a vision of me crashing my dad's plane at the end of the busiest small plane airport in America, Merrill Field in Anchorage, Alaska. And how my name would ring out forever, the rest of my life. It didn't matter if I lived or died. John Roderick would be the kid who crashed his dad's plane. Well, I lined up on the end of the strip, and I was doing just fine, doing just great, until the wheels touched it down on the runway. Immediately the plane started to go to the left. And by this point in time, I didn't know whether it was a trick runway. I wasn't sure what was happening. I had no confidence in any of my controls. And so I was just pushing both pedals back and forth, and the plane was... And I finally brought it to a stop, half on the runway, half off. And the guys in the tower said, 64 Mike Alpha, you all right, son? Roger. I taxied the plane over. Peter and I got out, not speaking a word. Tied the plane up. And I never flew an airplane again. That was the end of my career as a pilot. It is a sad story. I left Alaska. I never really thought about it, but it's a big part of why. So, anyway, later on in the cruise, I'm going to take a stab at steering the boat. So hold on, everybody. Mike Furman, ladies and gentlemen. Play some songs now that are not funny. Thank you. What are you laughing at? Washington's on the one. I'm in the middle of speaking and you're under the gun. Seething, leave it to the long night. It's unappealing and someone so young. Plaintive, you're feeling so washed up and you mean it. When you say you're done, 5 lanes of freeway, but it's all gone dark. You called to say you're gonna run. She didn't want you to speak right. She didn't want you to be strong. She didn't want you to act mad. Didn't want you to get so wild. Can you wait? Can you stand it? Are you brave or are you scared straight? Scared straight. Maybe you belong to someone, and maybe you have finally met them. And maybe smoke belongs in the sky. And maybe I hate it when you cry. Can you wait? Can you stand it? Are you brave or are you scared straight? Scared straight. You were hurt, so you got hard. You were cursed and scolded and scarred. You were searched for, then ignored. You want to burn the liars. You'll set us both on fire. You're faking, so I'm pretend sleeping, waiting for this to be fun. It's true, little Miss Mean Mini Bar Guard. We're gonna have to try something new. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Let me breathe fire down on you. Let me breathe fire down on you. Thank you. I was wearing white pants earlier tonight. It was going to be a great costume earlier today. A great on-stage costume, and then I spilled coffee all over my white pants. Because I said specifically when I poured the coffee in the cup, don't spill these on your white pants. And then that was the first thing that happened. So now I'm wearing these pants, which are too short. But my socks are great. So we're all in this together. Can I have a little bit more of guitar in the monitor, Scott? Rice won't grow at I hit a chord there at the end of that song that I've never played in any version of that song ever. That's cool. I have no idea what I was thinking, where I thought I was going. That's the beauty of performance. I'm still a little bit thrown off that Mike Furman stole my "It's a Wonderful World" cover. So I had a big hole in the middle of my set where that was going to be. Also, my set list was in my jacket. Oh, he's good. Oh, or you were going through my jacket pocket. Good job. Get off the stage. He saw me turn around, and he knew as a performer that I was looking for something that wasn't there, and it wasn't my familiar, the little purple dragon that usually rides on my shoulder, that sits behind me during shows and says, "Good job." No, it was my set list. Wow, Mike Furman. Bring him with me everywhere. You wanted said, and now you're just putting the days to bed. Young actors want to play and will play, but you're working. Call applicants and stall cornering them. We're all waiting for the big day. If you feel crazy, then you're still crazy, and it hasn't happened for a few days. We'll just wait. In hindsight, you're gonna wish you were here. You keep scratching at the old paint, but the wood is still there and the room is still there. If you're trying to feel the wind, well, that's the window you're pressed against. Secrets, so I guess they stay safe with me. Tall orders from such small shoulders and invitations on blue paper. I'm bailing water and bailing water, 'cause I like the shape of the boat. You asked me and I told you, and you asked me and I told you and I told you. In hindsight, you're gonna wish you were here. You keep scratching at the old paint, but the wood is still there and the room is still there. If you're my anchor, then I'm throwing you over the side before I have the time to say, I never wanted anyone this way. And I'm smoking cigarettes when no one else does. And if I hold you now, will I be holding a snowball when the season changes and I'm craving the sun? Are you still training for the big race? Hoping the runners will die and churning the words of your disgrace. Well, it's how you are when you're down the counts, and I know we're a good thing, but it's been a long time since you said, put down your camera and let me ask you, is this new move just to keep moving? In hindsight, you're gonna wish you were here. You keep scratching at the old paint, but the wood is still there and the room is still there. far. Thank you. I didn't think of all the apropos boat metaphors in that song. Most of the time I use airplane metaphors for reasons previously explained. Sinking ship metaphor. All right, now I'm going to tune my guitar for real. I see people are already leaving. That's fine. I'll see you soon. As longtime cruisers know, that might not be the right tuning. Now the battery on Storm's guitar is dead. That's cool. Close enough. Right? Anybody out there have a problem with that tuning? Anybody have perfect pitch? It's like, no. This song is by request. Jonathan Colton asked me to play it. That's right. Show fealty to your king. Oh, master. Your taste is good. Student, why do you dream of me when you dream of your acre of tree? It was agreed I came to burn leaves, it's all I ever claimed to do. A plowman I'll never grow into. My arms miss you, my hands miss you. The stars sing, I've got their song in my hand. Oh, blue in the broad light of day, your claws are snagged on my face. Saying, I wish we were naked, and I wish that I could take it. When you turn on me, my arms miss you, my hands miss you. The stars sing, I've got their song in my head. Oh, I don't want my words twisted, I don't want you to listen too closely. Oh, wait for me impatiently, and I hope I can't keep seeing you as long as you don't say you're falling in love. Crave translates into slave. No one can harness the rain, but I can make myself into rain. You'll feel me on your cheek, on your sleeve. My arms miss you, my hands miss you. The stars sing, I've got their song in my head. Oh, I don't want my words twisted, I don't want you to listen to patiently, and I hope I can keep seeing you as long as you don't say you're falling in love. But I can feel you about to forget. Yes, I can feel you about to forget. One guitar, one cable, one box, and I have more technical problems than Queensrÿche. Trapped on the boat now. Like a tune for the next day and a half. No, not good enough. So, earlier this year, Jonathan Colton and John Hodgman and I were sitting around talking about how none of us ever has any new material. And we can barely remember the lyrics to our old material. And Jonathan Colton excused himself to go to the bathroom and never came back. But John Hodgman and I, sitting at the table, made a pact with one another that we would come up with some new material to debut on the cruise. We unrealistically set a target of several new materials. It is a lot. It was a whole lot, and I have no idea whether John Hodgman, I'm not going to promise on his behalf that he will have new songs. 17 new songs. All on Ragnarok, right? Better play them now. Shelf life is expired. But I have a new song that I wrote. I finished just before coming on the cruise. And normally I do not perform songs until I have played them many, many times until the key element of them is dead in me. That's how I know that I can do a professional job. That is not the case here with this song. Colton backstage advised me, I said, should I put the new song at the beginning or the end of my set? And he said, well, if you put it at the beginning and you fuck up, then it'll ruin your whole show. So I always put it at the end, so if I fuck up then, everybody still likes me. And they're like, no, most of the show is good. We'll peek behind the curtain. Who's that good? What's going on over there? Somebody making a smoothie? Turn that sound off. Who ordered a blended drink? What is the matter with you? Although it is Mardi Gras, which is French for Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday. That's enough. Stop it. And we are going to a Caribbean island. I have no idea whether they will be celebrating Carnival while we are in these Caribbean places. Anyone have a guess? Oh, Ash Wednesday. So then it gets all solemn again. Oh. Catholicism. Enjoy the yay long last, because it's coming.
So we wait and see till the mysteries fade.
very supportive group of people, and I really appreciate it. That is the first new song I've written in 4 years. As you know, if any of you have interacted with me before, as you know, I am not one to butter you up by referencing Star Wars to you over and over, or talking about monkeys or other bullshit. But I am going to tell you right now that I wanted to debut that song for you here on the cruise because of all you have done for me in the last couple of years. Thank you. Not to denigrate any performers that do talk about monkeys or Star Wars. It's a very supportive environment up here. Right here. All right, I have one more song for you. Thank you. This was the song that brought us together as an audience and as a singer. And I have done it a couple of times on the cruise, accompanied by a cavalcade of stars. But tonight I'm just going to play it for you by myself. So thank you very much. This is called The Commander. Thanks a lot. everybody. Thank you so much.